Today I'm going to figure out if old fishing lures really work. Well, maybe not today, but you know, I'm going to start working on it. I don't have access to any old fishing lures, so I'm just going to make my version of it, get it as close as I can. Most of these lures that I've been looking at, they're really simple. The color patterns are simple. I think I can, you know, at least get pretty close. And we'll see if they actually work. You know, there's so many different lures out there today. You could just, anything you can imagine. But we're going to see if these really old ones are still worth it, or if they would still work. So I did some Google searching, and I want to make a couple different styles, but this is pretty much what I've come up with so far. Let me see if I can, I don't know if you can see this, super common. This is a head-in. They come in all different sizes, but they're all pretty much the same shape. So I think I'm going to do my best to duplicate that, or at least, you know, get it close, see if I can catch a fish on it. There's going to be some tricky stuff to it. I have no idea how close we're going to get, but we're going to give it a try. First I need to figure out what kind of wood I'm going to make it out of. And as you can see, this is my shelf of hardwoods, and I don't have a place to buy hardwoods close, and so my supply is running pretty low. But I think down here's my maple. I'm going to make a pretty small one. So I think that I think I'm just going to make it out of maple, and I have quite a bit of it. So looking at those lures, like I said, there's a whole range of sizes. I think that I'm going to make mine about 2.5 inches long, which is pretty small. So I got my pieces cut, nothing special. I'm just going to glue them. I'm just going to use some good old Gorilla wood glue. This thing's going to be sealed. I think this stuff's supposed to be waterproof, but it doesn't matter because the lure will be sealed. So I'm just going to glue it up. Okay, so I've been looking on the internet, and I think I found one that looks really simple, and I don't think there's any way you could catch a fish with it. It's on eBay for $29.15. Darter yellow red polka dot black wood vintage fishing lure. Pretty sure I can make that, or something that ugly anyways. There's no way that's gonna catch a fish, but we'll give it a shot. All right. I messed up on that a little bit, and it didn't come out to the shape I wanted. So, off camera, I pretty much just did the same thing, but this one has a little bit bigger belly, and it just looks better. got the shape the way that I want it. After, well, I still have a little bit of fine sanding to do, but pretty close. It's definitely not exactly like the picture, but this is my version of it. Got that maple cut down and put in the lathe here, and as you can tell, I don't have the best lathe in the world, and I also don't have very good lathe tools, and this maple is going to be pretty tough. We'll give it a shot though and see what we can do. I have to turn it on with the screwdriver. That's how nice it is. I think that lure is about 3 inches, maybe a little bit less. We'll mark it off at 3. At this point, I have my 2 baits. They're about the same size. They don't look like much. I still have to put those dishes in where the eyes are. I haven't really figured out how I'm going to do that yet. And put some weights in them. Because I've been sitting here thinking about how I'm going to make that little lip on the bottom of this one. You know, most modern lures have like an acrylic piece, and those are pretty easy to make. But this one's metal. So what I was thinking, I was just looking around trying to find something that's about the same thickness. I found a couple old putty knives, so I think these are going to work. Problem is, they have to be dished. You have to get the right angle, so it's going to be a little challenging, but I'm going to give it a whirl. Pretty close for now. I'll have to tune it a little bit later. Alright, now lead holes. And I have no idea how much lead these are going to take. So I'm going to make them big. I don't know if you noticed, all my tools are really old. Put some lead in there. I'm not sure if I'm going to show how I poured the lead in these because it wasn't safe. Definitely not ideal. Don't have like a lead pot. I'm not a lure maker. But we have lead in these two. I have no idea if it's too much, too little. Here's an old woodworking trick for you. This is just baking soda, and it seems like it helps if you can use a spoon if it's something big, but for this little stuff, I like to use an old screwdriver. You just kind of pile it on there. This one's pretty rough. Then use just good old super glue or CA glue. Try to get the thin stuff where it'll, yeah, this one's just balling up on top. It's starting to soak in. But that baking soda acts as an activator. And so it gets hard almost instantly. Alright, the glue is pretty much set up, so I'm just going to hit it with a file. I just get some stainless steel wire. I just wrap it around something. This Torx screwdriver seems to be about the right size. After I bend it over, I just chuck it up in a drill, put it on. Take it off. Got a little hook. Sometimes you have to strain them out a little bit, but I think this goes without being said, but this is not how the original hardware was. I'm just kind of making it with what I got here. So I got the hangers all cut, drilled, ready to go. Make sure they're where I wanted them. Now all I'm gonna do is I'll take them out here. I just have some CA glue. This is like a medium. So, just gonna seal everything. I'm just gonna dunk it in polyurethane. Super glue, I actually like super glue a little bit better for this, but this is what I got, so. You can just use super glue thin, rub it on there, and then you don't have to wait for it to dry. Everything's ready to go. I'm just gonna paint them, just pretty basic. I'm gonna put a coat of white to start with. one's not working. Fished with it for about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. Had a bunch chasing it and a few hits. But I think I'm gonna switch and see what that yellow one will do. Again? All right, little smallmouth liked it. Crazy, actually caught something on it. This one I'm not having any luck with. I've had a few, I shouldn't say that. I've had a few chasers, but nothing really committed. I think it's my color more than anything. Pretty much just looks like a bobber, and the motion is like pretty slow. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna switch up and try some other lures that I think will actually work, and we'll see if there's any difference between the two. So the takeaway from this little trip was that these two lures did just as well as any other lures that I tried, whether they're other ones that I made or they were commercially made ones. I didn't catch any fish with this one, but I did have a lot of them chase it. And to give it credit, I didn't fish with it as long as I did this other one. The action on this one was really slow, and I think part of it had to do with that lip because I didn't angle it down enough. But it still worked, and I thought it just looked like a bobber. I didn't really think it was going to work. And this ugly yellow one, I actually had a lot of fish chase it, and I caught a couple with it. And I missed few with it, but really, for where I'm fishing here, I'm fishing in New Mexico. It's not like we have the best fishing other than trout, but they both worked. So if you ever have any old lures, don't be afraid to try them. Well, thanks for watching, sticking it out to the end. I'm gonna fish some more while I'm here.